Hello and welcome to another commentary video over a race. The first one went okay, quite enjoyed it, but I think I'll talk during racing. But I'll do one more anyway. So we're here at Ironman Raceway. The guy next to me, Zerg, is really quick. I think I was third quickest with a 1:53, 1:54, something like that. I can't remember off the top of my head. And I'm just going to review this race again. The track's a little bit rough. But let's see how it goes. I think I get a half decent start here. Let's see. So not the worst jump in the world. A lot of Kawasaki's up here. Cut to the inside. Unfortunately, that guy tucks the front a little bit. So we're in a solid second place start. The main objective is to just try and just stay with this guy as much as possible. He was lapping in the 140s. I wasn't. I think his best time. That guy ate so much shit. I think his best time was a 1:48, I believe, which is where I want to be. My best lap here ever is a 1:52. So I really want to make some improvements and see if I can get into that pro class consistently. It's quite interesting to watch my riding. I'm probably overly self-critical watching it back. But there's definitely things I need to improve on. Corner speed is my main one. That was a terrible line. Luckily didn't go down there. I've noticed this setup's really good if once you start getting into trouble, you get off the gas and sort yourself out. It's actually quite good at saving itself. This triple's so easy to overshoot. Pace isn't bad. It's important to stay nice and low. Sorry, excuse me. Stay nice and low over these tabletops. Some of these corners were already quite dug out from practice. As you can see, they're quite choppy. So the pace isn't bad so far. I believe I make 2 or 3 big errors, which usually lately my consistency has been really good. Over these last 2 races, they were not. So something to work on. My main thing for me, I think, to break into the next level of speed is slightly better line choices and carry momentum around those corners. Like for instance here you can see I kept it tight okay, but perhaps I could have gone a bit wider and then cut into the turn rather than trying to stay tight and the turn naturally pushing you out wide. Instead it would have been better to kind of cut in and across the turn from there. Overall, I think my pace was okay in this race. I just made some key mistakes. I wasn't going to catch the leader anyway, just because he was so much quicker than me. I've got a lonely second place. That's third place. It was to the right there. Here, for example, I feel like these braking bumps aren't too harsh. Perhaps I could get into the right side of that corner a little bit better, and carry that momentum through and really chain those corners together. That's going to be an important factor. I've always wondered if it was easier to hip over that jump. I do think I make a mistake just before the roller section. Oh, it might be next lap actually. Really feel like I want to break into that next level of speed and technique. I find this actually quite hard because I'm so used to talking over a video while racing that to not talk at all and really focus in my head, I was like, oh, I wonder what I'm going to say in my commentary video. My brain started to wander a little bit, so it was quite hard to just laser in and race. I'm 10 seconds down at the moment. Wasn't going to catch the leader, but I do want to be up there with these pro guys eventually, and I think with enough practice the speed will come. I fondly remember downloading Ironman for the first time. This is the TFC Paletta Raceways Ironman, and I was close to quitting the game because I was like, this is way too hard. I think I go over this berm now. Yeah, there we go. Just tuck the front. Silly mistake. Should have cut down just a little bit harder. It happens. It's all good. Yeah, I remember downloading it and I couldn't make any of the jumps. So like doubling around that corner into the big jump was incredibly hard. and I was like, this ain't for me, and I persevered a bit, and then I started getting to the 2 minute mark. I was like, oh, that feels pretty solid, and then my goal was to get to the 155 mark. I was like, all right, I'm there now, and the next goal is to get into the 140s. So there is a lot of progression. There's a lot of good things to take away, considering I've not been playing the game in an overly long time, and a lot of those top pros have came mostly from an MX simulator background, so there's a lot of carryover. Whereas I'm quite new to this style of motocross game. Although I've played tons of MX versus ATV, tons of Milestone, the MXGP games and stuff like that, there's just no comparison to this game. So I do feel like the sim guys, sorry, yawn. It's still early in the morning here. I do feel like the MX sim guys have that carryover. It's not an excuse at all, but yeah, I want to be up there with those guys. I want to be one of the main mans. I do wonder if that wide line there would be better than cutting to the inside here. Oh, again, another horrible mistake. Just little losses of focus, pushing that wheel out, and normally I'm fairly consistent, but not today. Double over that just a little bit harder, and then again cut out wide, cut back in. I noticed one of my line choices could be better. I'm cutting in too early to a lot of turns. See how it pushes me back out wide. 19 seconds down, got about 11 seconds on third. So I've noticed with most public lobby races, I'm up within the top 3, and I win a few. But if there's anyone up there that's running pro times, I'm just off the mark, which is fine. It's all good. This turn gets really rough, so I try to avoid it a little bit. Sometimes it gets to a point of where people start going down in it. You actually can cut to the inside. I can't stop yawning. What have I run so far? 2:04, so we're up on this lap. That first time lap obviously was a mistake, so that cost me a lot of time. So I think I've run a 154, 155, 155. So going by that logic, those 2 lap times cost me roughly between 2 lap times, 2 mistakes, cost me roughly 9 to 10 seconds. So I wouldn't have been anywhere near challenging for the lead, but you know that's a lot of time. 9 to 10 seconds in a race is huge. If you're in a fairly competitive race with people your sort of speed, that's a sizable gap from just 2 mistakes. And you think you make 5 mistakes of that magnitude, that's a lot of time. So consistency really does speak volumes. Even if you've got 1 or 2 fast laps, it doesn't really count for anything if you're constantly going down. So my goal at the moment is to maintain a decent level of speed, improve those lines and corner speed, and hopefully once you get comfortable in newfound speed, God, that was terrible, then you can kind of push that envelope a little bit more. It's very frustrating when you want to go fast really quick, and you see all the guys on YouTube and they're like unbelievably fast, and you're just like, oh, I want to be there. But it's all about putting in the time. I think I'm coming up total game time about 250-ish hours, and some of the guys in the Discord, they're on like 1,500 hours, so you know, they've put in their time, and there's a reason they're that quick. So I'm hoping in the next 250 hours the progression keeps going. Pace is okay, it's looking okay right now. I will look for a proper race series that I'd like to do a full championship for. I think that would be an interesting series to do, just to see if I can do the entire series, how I do in that entire series. A lot of the times I look at championships and they don't coincide with my days in the week, and a lot of the times just tracks I've never done, so I do need to expand my repertoire of getting on different tracks and start to practice other stuff. It's hard because in a public lobby, when I want to get that race time in, it's the same old tracks over and over again. It's Winchester, Redbud, Forest, Maryland, you know, which is fine. It's great. It's great to get race time in, But then you also lack that testing time in the other tracks as well. If I host a server, say even if I do it on like Glen Helen, I'll get very few people join, and that probably holds a lot of people back from their racing, because it's great if you're fast around Winchester, but it's not great if you're not fast on 10 or 20 other tracks. So I will kind of expand out a little bit and put some more time into those. There's a lot of new tracks out as well that I need to try. It's just finding the time to do it. 30 seconds down at the moment. Pace is okay. It's not bad. One of my main weaknesses, I feel like, is slowing down too much for a corner and not charging through it enough, and I could fix that by focusing on my line entry, making sure the bike's stable and solid through there, good technique, and I'm pushing that line through. I think I only make one more mistake, but I actually get stuck in a fence, which is quite hilarious. Not the best corner exit there. I remember when I first played this, and I thought that triple was impossible. And Ironman's a fairly easy going track now. It's hard to know if you actually objectively look at this track, if the pro guys, the fastest pro guys, are doing mid 140s, so let's say they're, for the argument's sake, they're 10 seconds quicker than me, there's not a huge variance in lines here. Like, there's a few, don't get me wrong, but over the most part, everyone's taking the same sort of lines. The fact that people are 10 seconds a lap quicker tells me that they're taking the same line. There's obviously room to be made up in the corners. Better line choices. If you say there's 10 turns and you're a second quicker, there's your 10 seconds in each turn. Quick mash your ass right there. Half a second up. See there, I was 0.6 per second up. If you look at the split time at the left, just jackknifed that corner a little bit too hard, and I lost that split time straight away. So that may not sound a lot, like 3/10 of a second, but you do that 10 times in a track, and then that's 3 seconds, and then you do that over 10 laps, it's 30 seconds. So then you're like, how am I losing 30 seconds on this dude? It's just like consistently boom, 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 hitting those lines. Oh, nearly lost the front there big time. So I was nearly half a second up, and that deficit was cut out already, and that's just a minor little mistake, and you're losing half a second to a second there. Overall, I would say my race went okay. Clearly, the second fastest here. But as you look, you think this guy that's winning is in the pro ranks. Being 40 seconds down just isn't good enough. Let me know what you think about these commentary races as well. It's quite interesting to do. I don't mind talking over races. It really doesn't bother me. If anything, I think it's easier now. Nice little whippadoodle. To the finish line. Thank you guys for watching this. Yeah, that's this mistake with the fence. I get stuck in the fence. Silly boy. But yeah, I really appreciate it. Let me know what you think about these videos. Got some cool stuff coming up soon. You know, we'll work on that racecraft. The goal is to be in those pro ranks one day, up there, challenging for top 5s, top 10s. But yeah, that was fun. Interesting to commentate over. A lot of improvements to be made with my riding, but we've come very far as well. So well done to that guy for winning. Thank you guys. If you could like and subscribe, that would be amazing. Appreciate you guys. Giving them a little compliment here. But yeah, thank you. I really appreciate it. And see you guys soon. See you next time.